Welcome back to Tuesday Talk and to my messy office. I am in full VBS mode as we get ready to welcome kids into our church in a couple short months for VBS. And something that's been on my mind related to that is God sightings, because it's something that we talk a lot with the kids about while they're here with us for Vacation Bible School. But it's also something that as believers, we should be looking for as well. Because a God sighting is basically when we see God in the world around us in our everyday life. It's giving God credit where credit is due for all of the wonderful things that we get to enjoy on a daily basis. And sometimes as adults, it's difficult for us to see them because we get caught up in the day-to-day and we don't have the opportunity to stroll around with Jesus like his disciples do and see miracles happen. And it's different, but it doesn't have to be. We can be just like a child and look into our world and see a God sighting. And if you were in church a couple weeks ago, I shared a God sighting that I had while reviewing the Grow budget of all things. And it was a very unexpected place for me because I'm not the type of person who loves crunching numbers and creating spreadsheets. I really view it as kind of just a necessary evil for running the program. But the cool thing about Grow is that while we have expenses, we also have the opportunity to get an income. And our income comes partially from registration, but mostly it comes from generous donations given by people in the congregation. Just to put it a bit into perspective and be completely transparent, a typical year at Grow costs around $10,000 to $11,000, which is a lot of money, but we view it as being worth it because of the impact that we believe we're making in the lives of the children and the families who walk through our doors on Wednesday nights. Now, about $2,000 of that comes from registration that we collect from the families. So that leaves quite a big gap to be filled in our income. So when I looked at the expenses, I saw that I was a little bit over budget. Not a lot, but enough. And I started doing the coulda, shoulda, wouldas. What could I have done differently? How could I have changed things that I could have stayed within budget? Now, the truth is, we had over 100 kids this year at Grow, which is more than we've ever had before. And each of those kids essentially costs money to program for the activities, for the dinner, and everything like that. So ultimately, more kids means more money. But I was still upset that I had gone over budget. And then I flipped the page to the income. And I saw that our income was $19.97 more than our expenses. Now, please tell me that's not a God thing. I was blown away that God had literally provided exactly what we needed. And I was reminded of the widow in 2 Kings. And she just had a small jar of oil left. And she cried out to God and said, "This isn't enough. I need more. What should I do?" And Elisha came to her and he said, "Collect all of the empty jars you can find." So she went to her neighbors. She went down the street. She got all of these large jars. And he said, "Now start pouring your little jar of oil into them." So she started pouring, and she poured, and she poured, and she poured. And her little jar of oil did not run out until that last empty jar had been filled. And all I can see is God when I look at the Grow budget, and I see that he said, go get all of those kids that you can find and bring them in and start pouring and pour and pour and pour into their lives. And he provided exactly what we needed to do that. So my challenge to you this week is look for God. Find a God sighting. It might be in the unexpected, or it might be in something that you look at every single day. When we ask the kids for God sightings, usually the very first answer is a rainbow. They love looking at rainbows. And when they find out that rainbows are a sign from God, it's even more exciting to find one. Or they'll say the chipmunk that they saw run across the road, or the flowers that their mom planted. So if you're having trouble in your life finding a God sighting, I'm going to encourage you to step outside. Step into the sunshine. Look at the nature around you, and I guarantee you will see God. So again, I encourage you all, find God in the world around you. And once you find God, share it with somebody else. Tell your kids or the kids on Sunday morning or your neighbor or your spouse about where you found God and see if they can find God somewhere too. So good luck and enjoy looking for God in the world around you.